Skills Trident Z RAM. Thank you guys once again for checking out our
Hey guys, what is up? What is going on? I am Sergio with Tech Overclocked. Guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the G-Skill Trident C DDR4 memory modules. Now this kit right here, guys, is a dual kit, 8 and 8. I got 2 RAM sticks in here. 16 gigabytes at 3200 megahertz. Alright, and this is for a new build that I'm doing right now at the moment. And let's go ahead and take them out of the box. See what's in here. And well, here we got 2 RAM sticks. And well, we get a sticker for our computer if you want to use it. Beautiful looking RAM sticks. Right now I'm building a black and white computer, C170 motherboard. And well guys, taking a look at these RAM sticks, they look beautiful. They look kind of messed up in here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in. I don't know if you can see those things. It's like they were touched and handled with no care.
Anyone order a one-man wrecking crew?
So, I don't know if you can see that clear, but anyways, the RAM sticks are brushed aluminum finish. Okay, and the heat sinks are aluminum as well. Let's take a read at the speeds in here. We got 18, 18, and 38 at 1.3.5 volts. The stock speed, the base speed, it's 25,600. I haven't seen that before. I'm usually around 2133, 2400, or 2666. You know, it all depends. And in order for us to get, you know, our 3200 megahertz, we have to turn on the XMP overclocked for our RAM sticks. So it's a beautiful, beautiful design, guys. It's lovely, and that's one of the reasons why I got it. And well, guys, see, this is the back of it. That's where we got the logo and everything. But you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and take a look at the performance. I'm going to install it on my computer, and I'm going to turn it on and see if I get a boot. But anyways, let's go ahead and install it to the computer and run the benchmark.
Alright, I'm giving you 10 seconds. Now let's see some action!
Alright guys, well, I had a successful boot. I am seeing right here G-Skill 2133 megahertz, 8 gigabytes, 2133 megahertz. XMP is disabled. Let me show you. We zoom in the camera. Successful boot. And let's go ahead and go to advanced settings. I'm gonna check AI tweaker here. And here's my overclock. So right now I got my overclock. My CPU overclock is 45, the core ratio by 100. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the XMP right here. And automatically my CPU is trapped 100. Let's see here. So once I turn on my XMP 3200, yep, 3200 DDR4. 3600, it changed my overclock. So I'm gonna go ahead and multiply it 45. Enter 45 without hesitation. And I am surprised that it didn't change my base clock frequency. See? It left it at 100. So that is kind of crazy because see, my CPU strap, I left it at 100 as well. And I am used to getting my CPU strap changed to 125 when I turn on the XMP for whatever reason with X99 and the i7-5820K, but on this time it didn't. So wow. Yeah, big wow. Let me go ahead and check my voltage settings. Alright, it's full manual mode. 1312. And let me make sure that my VR4 at 200 megahertz. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of here. Man, I am impressed. I am impressed. Alright, let's see if I get a successful boot. You guys are gonna be witness of that. Well, the computer shut down. And it's when it's staying, being loud with these loud ass fans. And let's see what comes up on the screen. I hope I have a successful overclock with the XMP at 3200 megahertz. I really hope so because, like I said, with the i7-5820K and this line of X99, it always used to change my CPU strap and my base clock frequency to 125. Right now, if I get on Windows, what the dude? Wow. Okay, I am impressed already by G-Skill. I can't believe it. Wow. Okay.
Hey, it's an overclocking party, and everybody's invited. We're going to overclock Skylake. That's the i7-6700K and the i5-6600K. We're going to take a look. So, what do you need to know about Skylake and the overclocking architecture? Well, hopefully you've watched the other video that I did that hopefully I've remembered to link in the description. It's just about Skylake in general. This video is going to cover every motherboard that I could get my hands on in terms of what you need to overclock Skylake.
Let's show your enemies a jolly good time. Took Davy Jones' locker with you.
Without hesitation.
Excellent!
I have now covered several products from Cooler Master's Master Series, and so far I've liked what I've seen. There was the Master Case and the Master Keys, for example. Beyond that, there's also a Master Watt power supply, a Master Air cooler, and there's even Master Gel thermal interface material now, which is, nice. I think that the Master branding works since it's part of Cooler Master's name, feels vaguely associated with the PC Master race, and it implies that the product represents the upper echelon of what Cooler Master is able to produce based on their years of experience making PC hardware. So today I take a look at the Master Liquid Pro 240, an all-in-one CPU liquid cooler that's also available in 120mm trim. Does this product deserve a place among its Master Series brethren, or is it just Master bait? So as you might expect, the Master Liquid Pro 240 comes with a pre-filled and sealed 240mm radiator attached via FEP tubing to a unit containing a pump and water block. Accessories include a rubber gasket to put between the fans and the rad, mounting hardware and a backplate for modern AMD and Intel sockets, sets of screws for mounting, thermal paste, and the rest of the plastic tabs and standoffs for the mainstream or enthusiast sockets. You also get a little fan splitter, 4-pin single to double, which is very convenient if you're using a motherboard that doesn't have enough fan headers. Also included are two 120mm Master Fan Pro Air Balance fans, which Cooler Master says are balanced, hence the name, for a mix between performance and low noise operation, rather than going for an all-out high static pressure design. They're not slouches though, still putting out 2.34mm of H2O static pressure and 66.7 cubic feet per minute of airflow, while generating a maximum of 30 A-weighted decibels of noise at full speed. The radiator has a matte black finish and a tasteful Cooler Master logo with the product name in white on the side. It's 27mm thick, and although I was initially disappointed that it used aluminum fins rather than copper, they do have a special squared-off design that allows the fins to make more contact with the channels while also providing more space for airflow. The concept of the design makes sense to me, so we'll see how it plays out in testing. The tubing is made of FEP, that's fluorinated ethylene propylene material, and I could explain why it's good material for this purpose, but let's be honest, you probably only really care about how it looks. Those ribbed ridges are there to keep the tubing from kinking, and I'll be honest that this just is not my favorite style of tubing when it comes to looks. It is thicker though, so it's not quite as bad as some of the thin FEP tubing that I've seen used in the past, and I'm sure there are some people out there who actually prefer this over the sleeved or rubberized tubing methods that I've seen. I'm just not one of them. Let's move on to the pump and block unit. Note that it's a separate pump and block, connected by a couple links, rather than a pump/block that's all together as one. Take that, Ace Tech patent lawsuits. Now, Cooler Master has some explanations for why their design is better than the competition here, and while I'm inclined to believe that it's mostly to prevent further litigation from Ace Tech, who has been rigorously enforcing their patents over the past couple years in the USA at least, let's just see what's going on beneath the housing first. The Master Liquid Pump is further from the CPU and heat-generating components. That makes sense, I suppose, but it is hard to evaluate how much that actually helps. Next, they're using the spraying method on the CPU block itself, pushing the liquid down at the center of the microfins and allowing it to flow out on either side. This is definitely a better method than the flowing across all the fins from one side to the other method, and it is the same method employed with high-end CPU blocks from makers like GK. So apart from that, the unit is taller than others, but probably not tall enough to conflict with anything, and also there's a clear window with the Cooler Master logo on it and a blue LED. Look how nicely the blue LED matches with the motherboard LEDs. Rejoice, users who want blue to be part of their color scheme, or people with an RGB LED motherboard like this one. Despair, the rest of you who don't want blue, because as far as I can tell, there's no way to turn the damn thing off. I don't mind LEDs, I don't even mind static color LEDs, as long as I can disable them. So anyway, if you couldn't already tell, I have gone through the installation process of putting the Master Liquid Pro 240 in the system, which wasn't too bad at all. There's no great improvements here on aftermarket CPU cooler installation, but no steps backwards either, and I ran some simple tests to gauge performance. To provide comparison, I also tested a first-gen Corsair H110, either to provide a tougher challenge to the Master Liquid Pro 240 since the H110 has a larger 280mm radiator, or because it was already installed in this system and it was just super convenient. Take your pick. In either case, after the proper burn-in, I checked temps at idle after 15 minutes of no activity, and under load after 15 minutes of activity running IDA's 64 as the system stability test. I'm using a 5820K, and I tested it at stock speeds as well as overclocked to 4.4 gigahertz. I found that after adjusting for ambient temperature, these two all-in-ones were just about neck and neck, with the H110 running half a degree to a degree cooler than the Master Liquid Pro 240. This might not seem like stellar performance for the Master Liquid Pro 240, but keep in mind that it's significantly smaller at 240mm versus 280, so I'm actually pretty impressed that it kept up. As for noise, I will share some footage of the cooler running at idle. And now running at full load while overclocked. So please take these two recording demonstrations with a grain of salt, as I'm just using the camera's mic positioned about 10 inches from the cooler with the side panel off, so it's not the most scientific, but you also get bonus points if you can hear Hero snoring in the background. Just like there. That was actually perfect timing. So now it's conclusion time. For pros, with the Master Liquid Pro 240 you get solid build quality, quiet if not inaudible noise generation, and equivalent performance to a last gen 280mm cooler, which I actually think is pretty good. You also get a 5-year warranty from Cooler Master, which is quite nice. As for cons, I was mostly let down by the Master Series labeling and the expectations I had because of it. If this was my Master Liquid cooler, it would go all out and have a copper radiator instead of aluminum, maybe some RGB lighting in the pump, or at least some means of turning it off, which, who knows, could be added in the future, since I did actually spot some extra connectors on the pump connection points, and maybe some more premium feeling tubing or potential expandability with industry standard fittings like we saw with the Iceberg from Cooler Master a couple of years back. Ultimately, I think this is a good cooler, and I was happy with the noise and performance, and at $120, it's competitive with a lot of the mid-range, large, all-in-one coolers on the market. I could see a better and more feature-rich version of the Master Liquid Pro 240 though. I just don't know what they call it. Maybe they add an X on the end. That usually works. That is all for this review though, guys. If you enjoyed this video, I strongly encourage you to hit the like button, wherever it happens to be down there, depending on where you're watching. If you want to help me support my channel even more by helping me, you can also use my Amazon link, which is also down there in the video's description. Click it before you shop for stuff, that helps me a lot. Or feel free to visit my store at store.paulshardware.net, where you can pick up shirts, mugs, or pint glasses. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already for more tech videos, and as always, thank you for watching. Thank you, the gods.
Never tasted sweet!
I could see a better and more feature-rich version of the Master Liquid Pro 240. Sorry, excuse me.
The AquaChanger 240 from LEPA is designed to complement your CPU overclocks with superior thermal dissipation and performance. Dual convex blades on the 120mm fans deliver high volume airflow at low noise, and the protrusive copper plate deploys more coolant for efficient CPU hotspot elimination. Click the link in the description to find out more. So you're looking to build a shiny new PC and try your luck at undertaking one of the most gratifying activities known in the enthusiast realm, overclocking your CPU. You know that you'll need a decent CPU cooler if you want to get anywhere, but you've done enough research at this point to know that the measly stock cooler which came with your unlocked processor isn't going to cut it. On the other end of the spectrum, the cost and complexity of a custom water cooling loop is almost as overwhelming as building a computer itself, and you'd rather not get too ahead of yourself, so you're left with two options: an aftermarket air cooler or an AIO liquid cooler. While there are certainly pros and cons to both methods of cooling, today we'll pit air coolers against liquid coolers over the course of 5 rounds, or categories, to help you decide which cooler type is best suited for your overclocking needs. Kicking off the first round is cost. Now this is an important consideration for most builders on a fixed budget, as money saved on the CPU